Side Tonight with Jamie Bowl starts now.
We're taking a live look at the uptown Charlotte skyline tonight. An estimated 117 people move to the Charlotte area every day, and many of us see that growth when we're faced with heavy traffic on our morning and evening commutes. It's why public transit has been a top priority as the region continues to grow. But a decades-old plan to build a one-stop transit hub in uptown faces new setbacks. Thanks for staying with us at 7:30. I'm Kim Anderson. Jamie Bowl has the night off. Now, if you've been here for a while, you may remember long-standing discussions about Charlotte Gateway Station. But if you're new to the area like I am, we're going to catch you up just a little bit here. The idea for the project is to be a hub for public transit, from Amtrak trains, Greyhound buses, city buses, the streetcar, and eventually the Red and Silver Line light rails. When the project broke ground in 2018, it was set to be complete by 2022, 3 years ago. The project has private developers building things around the station. The new goal now is for things to be ready by 2030. Today is August 18, 2025. So where do we stand now? Well, our news partners at Axial Charlotte found the project is caught up in a bit of a mess. We still don't have finalized designs, cost estimates, a clear timeline, or a clear answer on who's paying for this second phase of the project. Our Jamie Bolt sat down with reporter Alexandria Sands to learn more.
So 30 years of talk, what has happened so far? Has any of this been completed?
Yeah, I mean, it was first envisioned in the 90s, and since then they've acquired land, they brought on the private developers to plan the commercial components, and they completed $86 million worth of infrastructure for the first phase. So since 2022, there has been all the infrastructure there that they need for trains to pull up and drop passengers off. But the problem is there's no way for riders to exit onto a platform, so the station has not opened yet.
So what's slowed down the progress here?
Yeah, I mean, the city has been really quiet about this project the past few years. Everything we've learned has really been through public records. They've been saying they're working on a master plan with the developers, but according to the records I found, the developers do not think the market is healthy enough right now to pursue any commercial construction. So they've asked the city to take on the role of building the bus station, the train station, and some of the other infrastructure. And now since then, NCDOT has become very frustrated with the city because they feel like they've prolonged the progress and they keep making refinements to the plan. They wrote a letter that I obtained, and in that letter they said that, for example, the city was looking at expanding the bus station from 8 spots to 40 spots, and this was kind of just like a new recent development over the past few months. So they are worried that the station is not going to open in time for the delivery of some new trains that are coming in the year 2030.
That's the key number, right? 2030. I know NCDOT, right, wants this open for trains to run in there. Is there any stopgap measure that can happen, and are there any concerns with that?
I mean, right now they're still using the 1960s era station on North Tryon. It doesn't connect to any transit lines, and you arrive to the big city of Charlotte, you get off the train, and you're limited to the option of taking the bus or calling an Uber. It's not really a walkable area either, so they really want to get this station done. And this is all also happening at a time where train ridership is skyrocketing. We're hitting record levels. People are riding the trains more and more every single year, and they're especially coming to Charlotte.
So you're saying NCDOT is saying, hey, city, you keep changing the plans on us here, and we're trying to get to some sort of set idea of what this is going to be. And to budget for it as well, that's got to be a concern, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and the biggest stumble right now is NCDOT is hoping they can build a temporary station so that while they're working on this permanent one, they can at least open up something and they can have the trains run to the station uptown. But it seems to be that there's a disagreement over whether the city wants to pay for that. The city says that they're willing to explore the idea of opening a temporary station, but they don't think they could fund a temporary one and the permanent one. So the most recent thing I heard from NCDOT is that they are putting a pause to that discussion.
Obviously, too, we got coming up here this fall, right? We got the transit tax, the penny to be added for this mass transit plan here in the community. Does that factor into this in any way?
It definitely does. I think especially with the idea of the early station, they want to see if they can get some revenue from that sales tax. That's going to be a whole new stream that the city could pull from to pay for this project. It could be a reason that they are prolonging it a bit. And then they're also planning the rail lines like the Red Line and the Silver Line, which will go through the Gateway Station and may impact the design of the project. So there's just a lot of ifs in the air right now. And you have the city on one end, they're still doing design, and they want to take their time, see if they can get some revenue to fund this. And then NCDOT, they have this deadline they want to hit. So now we have these two public entities clashing.
Yeah, no question. 2030, at one point, it seems like a long way off, but it's really not anymore. So we will see where all this goes. Terrific reporting on this, Alex. Appreciate you taking a couple minutes with us.
Thank you so much.